XRP and Bitcoin were pumping ahead of the Morgan Stanley announcement that just dropped this morning. Yesterday, we had talked about XRP having like 8% daily gains, which we took a look at CoinMarketCap and we saw that was pretty extraordinary compared to a lot of the other top 20 coins. And that's good. That's positive. I know it's not enough for some of you because a lot of you guys are expecting like $1,000 XRP, $500 XRP, whatever that is. But in this type of market, when we see like at least 8% gains on some of these majors, that's awesome. And if you're someone who's actively trading this, great. Bitcoin, I want to say, sustained above $93,000. And the markets are actually kind of starting to pick up, which again is very good. There's also a rumor circulating around on X right now, which I'm going to pull up for you guys in a second. And I found out why I wasn't feeling good. I'll get to that in a second. It's kind of wild. I didn't know this could happen. I didn't think the two parts of the body were connected, but they're close to each other, so that makes sense. So stick around for that. But it looks like there was another rumor about, where is it? From MetalPay. And again, I like the folks over at MetalPay. They're pretty cool. But it said, and again, I don't know if this is true or not, but they said, according to sources, the U.S. Senate will decide on the crypto market structure bill in just 10 days. And this is another thing that we talked about. We talked about Caroline Crunshine, who is part of the anti-crypto army, resigning. So now it's basically a red majority over at the SEC. And again, I don't care what political side of the spectrum these people are on, just as long as we get positive crypto regulation that makes sense for retail. Retail is a key word because, again, you'll see a lot of the big boys on X swinging their wieners around, and that's good. That's fine, great, fantastic. I love that for them. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin and crypto were created for the people, by the people. And if you are not going to advocate for the very underdogs and the very people that really brought you the success and the wealth, then what are you doing with your life? And I know we don't always get to have it our way, but at the same time, there's negotiations, there's things that can be done. Okay. There's things that can be done. How do I know this? I just know this. Okay. I'm not one of those people that like, oh, I have NDA signed or I was around this person, whatever. I don't really do that because I think it's cringe. I think it's ghetto. And I also started hanging out in Hollywood when I was like 17. And there's just things you don't talk about. You just don't. You don't name drop. You don't do that. You do it when it makes sense, but like in a public forum, you just don't do that. It's weird. Like we just don't do that. Just cringe. Also, too, I'm born and raised Los Angeles County. So I grew up like you grew up seeing celebrities and people do things all the time and just nobody talks about it. It's like the transplants do that. We don't do that. So moral of the story is there's things that can be done. But we do need to advocate for retail because right now is a time where we're hearing, where we're getting vertically integrated into traditional finance and where we're getting laws that are or guidelines that are established what U.S. companies can and can't do in crypto. And that will directly impact the big dogs like XRP, like Ripple and Coinbase and Hedera and you name it. Any of the top 100 projects, it's going to impact them because it's going to impact their ability to do business here. And it's also going to impact the sector, the entire industry's ability to do business in the U.S. as far as startups go. Because you have to remember, when the internet came about, the Amazons and the Google didn't happen until later. And we want to be able to continue to replicate that. But we need to make sure there's a safe environment for our developers, for our entrepreneurs, which right now, Mr. Trump has also essentially not kept up on his promises because the Samourai Wallet devs are still sitting. Not only are they still sitting incarcerated right now, but they didn't do anything wrong. If you guys listen to the space I hosted with Keone, they hired attorneys, they talked with the money transmitter people, they did everything correctly. And they still got gaffled up because the previous administration had their little war. Okay. And just because they're not a big entity like Ripple or Coinbase or Kraken or Gemini or whomever doesn't mean that they should be hit. But unfortunately, the way the legal system in the U.S. works is that the more money you have, the more power you have, the more access to attorneys and resources, which is, it is what it is. And we also have a story about that because it does look like the DOJ sold some of the Bitcoin that was confiscated, and that's not supposed to happen. So not only does Trump need to pardon both Samourai Wallet devs and Roman Storm and any developer that creates something that without malice and does things the right way. But we need to get all the laws and regulations out so people know what they can and can't do. And we need to stop prosecuting people unjustly. Anyways, welcome back to the O Show. Everything crypto every single day. I'm WendyO. Make sure to like this video. Drop me a like. If you're watching this on Rumble, on X, on Twitch, hi, congratulations. You made it here. I got to give a shout out to our channel members. Good morning to Mr. Lawrence. Thank you for showing up every single day. To Mr. Mike, to Mr. Dale, to Mr. John Germain watching me from Memrex, to Cherry, to Mr. Legend. Who else is here? Who else is here? Who else is here? I'm a little bit out of breath. Shout out to Callie. Who else is here? To Queen. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit out of breath. Hey, Lawrence, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. I did, because you guys know I have a little treadmill, and I've been doing the treadmill, and I've been doing it at incline, and I did 3 miles today. And then I did I do other little girly workouts because I'm a girl. I'm in my feminine era. But I'm a little bit and I figured out, how I told you guys I was remember I had that eye thing on my face the other day? I've been getting really bad headaches, like really, really bad headaches. It's like a lot of pressure here. So someone was like, pull your eyes up like this. It'll help. And that actually has been helping. But anyways, I also have these drops to pull the eyelids up like throughout the day because I can't be outside with the damn tape on my face, But anyways, the drops, I was putting too much in. And so it was seeping through the duct and was going through my nasal cavity. And there's one of the ingredients in there. It actually makes you incredibly lethargic and sick where you feel like, ugh. So that's what was happening. So I have a doctor's appointment, to see what's going on. But that's what was happening. It's crazy, right? And I knew those areas were really close together, but I just didn't think, I didn't know that it could seep through. But it wasn't even that much. They give you the single-use droplets, and I was using one of those throughout the entire day. I guess I'm just little or something. I don't know. Anyways, let's get into the news because there's lots of stuff happening. Okay, so I hope this is true for MetalPay. Also, shout out to Enigma Rocker. We love boys in the bands for the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. All right, let's get it going. And make sure to smash the like. Don't be ghetto. Likes are free. This is the thing. Likes are free. You need to do that. That's how you can show a content creator you appreciate them even if you don't like them. And any of the dislikes on YouTube, it marks it as positive. So, anyways. Tomorrow's my mom's birthday. She'll be 71. All right, Morgan Stanley announcement. Morgan Stanley files with the SEC for Bitcoin and Solana ETFs. This is a big one. And some people are speculating that XRP could be next, which would be dope. I would love to see that. And again, I think that all of the big guys will come in and they will start applying for XRP spot ETFs just because those have been performing so well. Not because Ripple is doing anything different than anyone else, not because it's the future of France, but because of retail, because of you guys. Because it is so incredibly popular. So they know that we can go ahead and sell this product to our clients and they're going to go ahead and do so. And this is why I would not fade XRP as far as a long-term pick. Because the institutions want it, because retail wants it. And institutions will always prey on retail. And that's just how it works. So if they can make money off of you guys, they're going to do it. And also, too, with the ETFs, those are actually a lot safer than custodying your crypto yourself in most cases. I've moved a lot of my stuff to my financial advisor and into ETFs and those types of things, primarily for safety because there's a lot of wrench attacks happening and whatnot. So if somebody comes in my house, not only am I stocked in every single room, I've got people 5 minutes from my house that know certain things, that have access to certain things, but I don't have anything here. So all you're going to do is get somebody that's incredibly pissed off, that knows how to fight, that knows how to use various things. And then there's going to be other people that come. And it's just going to be a mess. So I think that ETFs are a good vessel to move assets into for safety purposes, and or financial advisors that have the capacity to self store them. I love cold storage. I like it. I think it's a great thing for small amounts if you want to play around with. But I think people are going to have to start thinking long term, especially the egregious actions of or the negligence that has been presented by Coinbase and Ledger and a lot of these big companies. Instead of paying extra in the short term to protect clients' data, people, a lot of the leaks that happened, we talked about Ledger yesterday. And again, it's not your private seed phrase is safe, but your address and your name and those types of things, your personal information. And that's really important too. But anyways, I digress. But we love the ETFs as far as that goes. So shout out to Morgan Stanley. But let's talk a little bit more about what this is. So the Solana ETF includes staking, and they also want a Bitcoin spot ETF. And the firm oversees 6.4 trillion in AUM, assets under management, which is amazing. And the move comes as cumulative US spot crypto ETF trading volume has surpassed $2 trillion. Okay. Also, this is from Mr. Eric B. Mr. Eric B over here. The spot Bitcoin ETFs are coming into 2026 like a lion. I am a Leo, so I love this. I love any time there is a lion reference. Why do I love this? Because why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I love this? Like, hello. But it says 1.2 in flows for the first 2 days of the year with everyone eating. There's a $150 billion a year pace. Said, told you if you can't take 22 billion when it's raining, imagine when the sun is shining. And this is a very important post in my opinion. Why is this an important post? It's an important post is because we saw a lot of outflows happen at the end of 2025. And I told you the reason why we're seeing a lot of outflows is because we're dealing with big money. We're dealing with hedge funds and we're dealing with banks and we're dealing with institutions and we're dealing with TradFi as a whole. People take profit. They don't necessarily, they diamond hand to an extent in traditional finance, but in these guys, they work with attorneys, they work with multiple financial firms, and like they work with the top of the top. Okay. They've got more money than God. They can handle unrealized losses and unrealized gains and all of that, but they're not just going to sit on unrealized losses for no reason. Okay, there's going to be a reason. Sometimes they need to have a certain amount of losses to offset taxes, which is why I always recommend Scott to you guys as far as the CPA. And I know that there's this little thing happening. Oh, people are not going to pay their taxes because all the fraud and That's fine. I'm not going to participate in that because my culture in the United States of America, any of those mob movies, they will come and gaffle you up. That's how a lot of people get in trouble, not paying their taxes. They'll let people commit fraud though, which is crazy work. That's okay. But if you're somebody who's like, I'm not going to pay my taxes, blah, 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 that's fine. That's your business. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to risk any of my assets getting taken. I will pay my taxes, even though I think they're a scam. But moral of the story is these guys, what they'll do is they look at, they plan throughout the entire year. They rebalance their portfolios. They refresh them. They take profits. They sell. They buy. They do whatever. And they do it in conjunction with tax season or preparing for tax season so that they can make as much money as legally as possible. Is it ethical? Maybe. I don't know. But they are going to continue to make money. And this is how they do it. And they do it with taxes. Different game. So that's why we saw a lot of the outflows. That's my personal opinion. And again, I'm a bimbo on the internet. So don't just take my word. Okay. Don't take my word. Anyways, that's what is happening. More money will flow in. It just is what it is. It just takes time. Now, this comes from Mr. Archie. We love them over there. Bitcoin ETFs bought 697 million Bitcoin yesterday, the single largest day inflow since early October. And remember October, a lot of things were picking up quite a bit. And, then there was the end of the year. And I think October was Q4 of 2025. Okay. Q4 2025. So again, Q4, people like to rebalance, spend the remainder of their marketing budgets, whatever that may be. That's just how it works. Now, XRP rises 11%, reclaiming $140 billion market cap. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at coin market cap because I want to show you guys something over here. Okay. So as far as 24-hour percent gains, okay, stick with me here. Dyslexia is going a little bit crazy. That's 24 hours. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. I'm just all over the place today. I really am. So as far as 7-day goes, XRP is up 7-day percentage. XRP is up 19%, which is pretty cool. Okay. Down a little bit in the last 24 hours because, little bit, but it's really kind of, if we take a look at everything, like Dogecoin is 18%, Cardano up 15%, but it's really outperformed everything. Okay. And that's because retail loves it, except Sui. Sui actually beat XRP. Down here at number 18, and then Avalanche almost 16%, and Hedera over at 13.72%. So again, things are starting to pick up, and we love to see it. Now, next over here, I don't really want to talk about Bitcoin. I don't want to talk about Bitcoin quantum attacks. I really don't. Bitcoin outlook: bullish as whales, sharks, buy retail sell-off sentiment. People were using too much leverage, getting liquidated. People were selling. Some of y'all were throwing damn fits like children, which I'm going to tell you right now, you don't do that. Not only is there crying, there's no crying in the club. There's no crying no crying in the club, no crying in the casino, no crying in jail. And there's no crying in investing. You don't get to cry. You don't get to. The other places you got to man up, but investing, you don't get to cry because it's your choice. You hold the power. So while some of you are, they were buying. Smart money's like, you know what? We're going to buy. And I know that's exactly what Lawrence and Gamer were doing. They were looking to get back in at lower prices and then big money. Also, too, I'm redecorating my office. Things are going to get moved around. It's finally happening. I know. I need better lighting, too, because I was told the lighting's not good, which is fine. It's not good. It's not. So office is getting painted. Some things are getting shuffled around. It's going to look a little bit different. So I have that happening. I have to deal with. I already have a color. It's back there. It's back over there. So that's happening. And yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited. I'm going to be redoing my bedroom and one of the playrooms for the babies. And my daughter is like, Mom, I need to redecorate my room to be country. And I was like, oh, Lord. So we got that too. And again, one of the things I like about painting and redecorating is that you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can just paint and you can like recreate everything. Like in my bedroom, I'm going to do like a dark, like a forest green, but not too dark. And I'm going to do the trim gold to make it just look nice. And that's not going to cost that much. You can do things for yourself to make yourself happy. And they say that redesigning, I forget, there's this particular psychological term, but it's when you redesign something or you redo aesthetic, it's actually good for mental health. And I don't know what this is over here. There's all this fuzz. I did get it at the thrift store. I did wash it, of course, but I have to just frizz it or whatever. But anyways, where is this? What number is this? Bitcoin outlook bearish, bullish, as whales, sharks buy, retail sell off. So a lot of y'all were selling and they were buying. They're buying your bags. Whales and sharks, which are holders with 10 to 10,000 Bitcoin, have been accumulating coins. They bought 56,000 plus Bitcoin since mid-December. Small retail traders with less than 0.01 Bitcoin have been taking profits and selling. So y'all were selling when number was going down. Congratulations. Supply has shifted from 67% held by top holders to 47%. Market futures show a short squeeze. So basically, y'all were selling and the big boys were buying. Not all of you, but some of you. And now, what part am I on? Okay. I'm going to get into that in a second. I want to get into this first. I want to do charts first. I do. Anyways, let's go ahead and do a shout out to our partners over at iTrustCapital. Thank you so much for partnering with the O Show, everything crypto every single day. If you guys want to use iTrustCapital, I think that they're absolutely wonderful. I do use them and I like them. You can go and scan up here or you can use the link down below. I think you get $100 too. I think you get $100. But anyways, this is not financial advice, but this is something that iTrust has in their on their site. But they're talking about the wash sale rule. It applies to stocks, not to crypto. Why that matters for investors. Again, I posted something with my CPA, Mr. Scott, to explain this if you want to go back and watch that. But this is something that you should be paying attention to. We talk about big money coming in and using tax rules to their advantage. And I highly recommend you talk with your local professionals about that. So stocks and ETFs follow the wash sale rule, which stops you from claiming a loss if you sell and buy the same asset within 30 days. Crypto is different. It's treated as property as of now. That can change though. And again, always talk to a licensed professional. So the wash sale rule doesn't apply. That means on platforms like iTrustCapital, you can sell your crypto at a loss and buy it back right away. You can lock in tax losses while still holding your crypto, which is great for tax loss harvesting and managing volatility. And again, if you sign up with the link down below, you get $100. So pretty cool thing. But as always, you do have to talk with your CPA and all that stuff and make sure you're all good. I know I say that a lot, but I don't want everything. But some of you guys will listen to one thing I say and it's the end of the world. Now, the market right now is, it's a little bit down, a little bit sluggish on the daily. But that's okay because we had a nice move up. Bitcoin is at $92,000 right now, which is good. I want to actually see where we are as far as support goes. Also, too, if you're somebody who wants to use Kraken to trade yourself and, like dollar cost average and move to cold storage or whatever it is you decide to do, they're great. We are partnered with them. We've got a link down below somewhere as well. But it looks like Bitcoin erased all the gains from yesterday, which was unfortunate. Pretty unfortunate stuff. So it pumped all the way to I'm sorry, we opened at 93,000. We actually got above 93,000. Now we're trading back at the EMA 9. So kind of erased all of the gains. But that's okay. That's life. Again, one of the things I said to y'all yesterday is I would like to see us flip above the 94,000. And this is my Daddy Chad chart. So right now we're still back consolidating between 86 and 94,000. No big deal. Ethereum, on the other hand, hit, resistance at 33.67, and now we're back down over here. And, it's still in the green, but not. Solana, same thing. It looks like everything pumped and then reversed and is kind of head back down to support to a lot of the EMAs. XRP, though, too, it sucks. It hit about $2.41, and now it's back down below 228 support. Chainlink, which I think somebody's applying for another ETF on them, which again, Link is another project I like a lot. It's part of the Kraken bundle that we have. Because people are like, Wendy, what should I invest in? And I just have the Kraken bundle for y'all to pay attention to. Taking a look at ADA Cardano, that actually saw one of the bigger gains with SUI. We're back above 38 cent support. Great. HBAR is also doing decent over here at 12 cents. Over here, yeah, it's bouncing on support. And then VeChain VET, the little bullish EMA cross here is great. We love that. So just as long as we sustain above that, that'll be good. And hopefully we can get to about this area of 0.014. Now, I wanted to talk to you about this. This is from Senator Loomis, and I love her for this. So we talked about we talked about God, hold on a second. My head. We talked about the Samourai Wallet, guys, okay? Talked about that. And with that being said, why is the U.S. government still liquidating Bitcoin when the president directed those assets to be preserved for a strategic Bitcoin reserve? We can't afford to squander these strategic assets while other nations are accumulating Bitcoin. I'm really concerned about the support. So I want to break this down to you. So first and foremost, the Samourai Wallet devs did not do anything wrong, number one. Okay, bunch of Bitcoin that they had was confiscated. When Bitcoin is confiscated, it's not supposed to be sold. It's supposed to go into a strategic reserve, something along those lines, because that's what President Trump said. But again, we have the anti-crypto army that are still around, and they're doing things on purpose. Not only, first off, these are two innocent men. All they did, they hired a freaking attorney. They went to the money transmitter people like, hey, can we build this? We're not going to custody anybody's stuff. We're going to create this really dope code so people can use privacy because there's crazy people everywhere and everybody deserves privacy because Bitcoin and crypto is on a public ledger. Everybody can see it. So we want to create some sort of privacy. They did everything the right way. They followed the law. But nope, wasn't good enough. Under the other administration, wasn't good enough. Now they're saying that Bitcoin may be confiscated. Or excuse me, that confiscated Bitcoin, which shouldn't have been confiscated in the first place, was now being sold. So what are you doing, Southern District of New York? And what are you doing, DOJ? So Loomis is on it, and she's not going to let this go. She will not let this go. I'm telling y'all. In addition to that, hold on. The sale may violate the Executive Order 14233, which mandates forfeited Bitcoin go to an SBR. Samourai Wallet devs forfeited 57.55 Bitcoin as part of a plea deal. The marshals reportedly sold it via Coinbase Prime on November 3rd. You know what's crazy? Oof. The order says government Bitcoin should not be sold except under specific scenarios, none of which applied here. SNDY has a history of acting independently in crypto cases, and DOJ and USMS actions suggest Bitcoin is still treated as an asset to liquidate, not strategic reserve. So first and foremost, Mr. Brian Armstrong, Mr. Coinbase, the fact that they allowed this to go through is crazy to me. But again, I know that there's a lot of things that goes behind the scene, but that's crazy. And this is what I talk about, the moral obligation. When you make money off of a specific group, your job is to advocate for them. That's very upsetting. I didn't know that part. Oof. Shout out to Sal for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Shout out to Sparkwater. Johnny O up in the house. Thank you so much for the $100 super chat. I greatly, greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much, Johnny O. And you guys give Johnny O a round of applause. He is him and John Germain are some of the oldest O Army members. And we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And Johnny, I just wanted to tell you, God bless you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And I hope your beautiful family is doing well. Thank you. Shout out to Gumby. Shout out to Music. Shout out to Larry. Larry's a brand new member of the O Army. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you guys. You guys are freaking awesome today. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I do want to leave you with a couple things because I don't want to leave these out. These will be in the news wrap up because y'all know that's how we do. So NVIDIA CEO says demand for computing resources is skyrocketing. That's going to be interesting to see. This could also raise questions about how much will be left with for crypto mining and Bitcoin mining. So again, data centers are really, really big. And I know CryptoFace, he did really well on those stocks last year because he live trades those. So that's going to be something to kind of focus on. Also too, where did it go? Gold. Gold futures surge above $4,500 an ounce, now up $220 since the low last week. Gold is now less than 2% away from a new record high. Crazy stuff. And I do also want to add, I'm actually going to make a clip I'm going to make a second media piece on this for you guys because I need to talk. I got to talk about it. Y'all know how I get. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to get going because I got some stuff to do. But again, shout out to Johnny O. Thank you so much for the $100 super chat. Shout out to Saul. Shout out to Cherry for the $10 super chat. Hold up. We got all kinds of people to music. Okay, we got lots of stuff. And then Lawrence for the $10 super chat. We also had, hold on, there was one more up here. We had Rocker too. But we also have 2 channel members. And again, I only give shout outs to the channel members because you guys are supporting me. Shout out to Deborah Archer. I don't know President Trump, but I'm going to be, I make my voice heard. You guys know. Shout out to Saul. And again, big shout out, a round of applause to Music and for becoming an O Army member and Tank's Garage. I don't know what kind of cars you got in your garage, but that's dope. Oh, and Larry Smith for being part of the O Army, and everybody for the super chats. And again, Johnny O, thank you so much. I'm sending you blessings. I'm gonna say, me and Laura are gonna send you say a little prayer for you tonight, just because that's what we do. It's my baby. She's a child of Jesus now. She says that's what she talks about every single day. Now, really quickly, who else? And gorgeous Alexandra, you have a good rest of your day. But make sure to watch a video at 2 p.m. PT. I'm going to talk about what's happening in Venezuela because it was just announced that apparently they have some Bitcoin. So that adds some more context potentially to the story. We'll see. And I got the news wrap up at 6 p.m. PT. Sending y'all love and light. Be kind to yourself. Bye, babies. Make sure to share this if you're on X. Don't be ghetto.